to do it again. Testing.
And we welcome you to Golden West College Football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Today, the Rustlers open their home schedule as they play host to the Riverside City College Tigers. The Tigers embarked on the Kevin Kraft era with an impressive win at home over the Long Beach City College Vikings in Week 1. And the second generation was highly reminiscent of the first, as the Tigers were prolific and explosive offensively, racking up 565 yards of total offense en route to the 53-30 win. The Rustlers scored an impressive win in Week 1 as well, traveling to Mount San Jacinto and upending the Eagles 31-13. The Rustlers also found success with the big play. 3 touchdown passes of 20-plus yards and an interception return for a touchdown paved the way to the big road win. So as the Riverside offense pulled away for a Week 1 win and the Golden West defense shut down the Eagles in Mount San Jacinto en route to a Week 1 win for them, the stage was set, it would seem, for what makes this one of the must-see matchups year after year in the 3C2A. The Kraft-led offense of the Riverside Tigers and the Nick Mitchell-led defense of the Golden West College Rustlers. Riverside and Golden West coming up next on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
National anthem today being performed by Jim Johnson.
And we welcome you back to Golden West College. A picture-perfect afternoon for football here from Southern California. The temperature in the low 70s, where it will stay. And light winds, perhaps up to as much as 10 miles an hour, but don't figure to be too big of a factor on the field. It's perfect conditions as Riverside and Golden West renew this rivalry that has been so good over the last few years, going back to a year ago, when arguably the game of the year took place in a 37-36 win for the Rustlers that went down to the final minute, a late touchdown for the Rustlers. And they pulled out the win here at home. So the Tigers back, looking for a measure of revenge. Both teams come in with a record of 1-0 on the season off impressive Week 1 wins. Tigers again have deferred, so they'll kick off. Rustlers will have it first.
Our number 4, Tanner Schmidt, and number 2, Kendrick Thompson.
Teed up and ready to go. Anthony Orozco with the approach, and we are underway. From Golden West, this one going to sail through the end zone, and the Rustlers will start from the 25. Mentioned Banua at the top, coming off the very solid opening performance. Just a freshman, 15 of 25, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, and perhaps most importantly, no interceptions. When we spoke briefly with Kevin Kraft earlier this week, he referenced turnovers specifically, and specifically the trouble the Tigers had in the very early going. 2 critical fumbles, I should say critical turnovers, deep in their own territory in the opening minutes, 3 minutes in. The Tigers were down 14-0. Opening play, a handoff to the left side and nothing doing. Going to be a loss on the play, perhaps a yard. Zion Magale coming off a big performance in Week 1. The first to get there, he had a couple of sacks in the win against Long Beach City. Finishing the point about the early going. Bad turnovers early. The Rustlers scored on short fields of 14 and 15 yards in the opening minute to take that 14-0 lead, and that despite the Tigers coming back throughout the day and eventually taking the lead late in the fourth. Gave the Rustlers the opportunity they needed, and they got the late touchdown for the 37-36 win. That was on Kevin Kraft's mind. We've been talking about key matchups for this week. Said, well, first we have to take care of the football. We can't do that to ourselves again. 3rd and long for the Rustlers. They'll spread it out with 4 wide receivers. 4-man rush. Banua sets up, guns the far side, but overshoots his target. Incomplete. He was looking for Tanner Schmidt, the leading receiver from a week ago. And we do have a flag down, so the first flag. And this one going to go against Riverside. And it's just offline. There you also saw Shaheem Taylor. One of just a few returners on this Tiger defense. Taylor played primarily as the nickelback a season ago. Steps into a larger role as a sophomore, but this is a very young defense for Riverside. So after the 5-yard penalty, 3rd down and a more manageable 4 yards. They swing it out in the flat, but nothing doing. Again, a loss on the play. Just trying to dump it off to Kendrick Thompson coming out of the backfield. But he is hit and quickly dropped. Isaiah Ayers coming up very quickly. Good tackle in the open field. No chance for Thompson. Loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th down. And we'll see the punting unit. Aaron Stock averaged just under 36 yards a kick in the win against the Eagles. This one bounces. There was some contact. I think they're going to wave this off. It didn't appear that hit a Tiger player anyway. But the Rustlers will lose out on the yardage from the bounce. So a short kick will give the Tigers excellent field position for their first possession here today. And well, we talked about at the top the start a year ago, and it was maybe about as bad as you can get for the Tigers. This a decidedly better beginning. They get the quick 3 and out despite the penalty.
We had a foul, so there was no inadvertent whistle.
And now they'll have very good field position.
Interference number 6 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty.
And tack on 15 yards on a penalty against the Rustlers, and penalties were an issue for the Rustlers. Certainly they were able to overcome and get the win, but 20 penalties for 141 yards for the Rustlers in that win at Mount San Jacinto. So this will move it all the way to the Golden West 40. Quick throw for Jared Doolittle, who gets the start. Expect to see both Jared Doolittle and Brian Wilson today. Both were decidedly impressive in the Week 1 win against the Vikings. Doolittle, whose first pass is complete, 13 of 17 for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. And we will see Brian Wilson, we would assume, later today, and he was just about as good. 17 of 24, 205 yards, couple of touchdowns for Brian Wilson. So early on, it's a 2-headed monster at the quarterback position. So Doolittle flanked by Marquise Monroe. Receivers left and right. There was a flag. First carry from Monroe. Got back to the line. Dalen Sauni plugging up the hole from his nose guard spot, a returning sophomore. Monroe might have picked up a yard. Rustlers showing blitz. So the first pass from Doolittle, it appears, was incomplete. And so it's 3rd and 7. Doolittle slings and finds Dominic Cox, but short of the marker. Just about at the 30. Well, I thought it was short. This is very close to the first down marker. And Monroe on the carry. A little hesitation in the backfield, now swallowed up by Sauni again. So it appears that Cox did get just enough for the first down. Dominic Cox, spectacular wide out for the Tigers. Returning sophomore, over 1,200 yards receiving a year ago. And now back Doolittle, looking over the middle for a touchdown. Finding Ross Nixon. And Nixon, with separation, is in for the touchdown. And the Tigers jump on top early.
Timothy Tynan to attempt the extra point.
Extra point pending for the Tigers, who have grabbed the lead.
The extra point is good. Riverside so building us nothing.
And we're having a little bit of technical difficulty here on the video. So I'm going to step aside briefly, see if we can get it sorted out. But Doolittle to Nixon, and the Tigers grab the 7-0 lead.
Empty roster to kick off. Back deep to Golden West are Tanner Schmidt and Kendrick Thompson.
With a good return from Thompson, have it at the 35, trailing at 7-0. They screen it out. And a gain of about 6. Thompson again coming out of the backfield. Thompson relatively quiet, 7 carries for 19 yards in the win last week. Sets up with a 2nd and 4. They'll bunch 3 wide receivers to the near side. Again, the Rustlers in the home black jerseys. Riverside in the white. Read option. And Banua absorbs a big hit at the first down marker. Micah Valenzuela with the stick. But the forward progress for Banua takes it to the 46. First down for the Rustlers today. They are looking for an answer after the Tigers went right down the field with Doolittle finding Nixon. already the 6th touchdown pass of the season for Tiger quarterbacks. Good hole. Thompson falls forward into Riverside territory at the 42. 12-yard run ties Staples on the stop. Staples part of a talented Riverside secondary. Another 4-year bounce back along with safety Matt Lashley, who we'll see today as well. That Riverside secondary that is big and talented, if not somewhat young. A lot of new faces on this Tiger defense. Thompson with a slip in the backfield, falls forward. Miles Hancock wraps him up. Thompson would have done well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, it is 2nd and 10, clock moving here in the first quarter. Riverside and Golden West.
Let's go,
Again, 3 wide receivers to the near side. They'll overload the right side for this 2nd and 10 play. Deep drop for Banua. Now on the roll, still looking. Just has to dump it short. Does find his target. Complete to Dom Thompson.
99 Riverside helmet off during play, out one play.
That's nice poise for the freshman Noah Banua. Continued to scan and eventually squeezed it into Thompson.
Let's go,
Brings up a 3rd down from the Riverside 36. This will be a 3rd and 4, Golden West. Efficient on 3rd down a week ago, 7 of 15 in the win at Mount San Jacinto. Play action, Banua out in the flat, but hit immediately. This is going to be short of the 1st down. Completes the pass, finding Will McKissick, his tight end. But again, sure tackling, getting there quickly. Let's watch the replay one more time. They're hoping that McKissick will find some room on the outside, but nothing doing. Donald Smith coming up to wrap up McKissick. 4th and 4. And Rustlers going to go for it. Here from the Riverside 33. And I think this, perhaps as much as anything, a nod to the fact that you're going to need points against the Tigers. And Morris on the carry. Arjuan Morris, good hard running. Just enough. McKissick did manage to pick up a couple of yards, so this was more on the order of a 4th and 1 than a 4th and 4. So Morris on that right side, following his right guard Tyler Smith, Grant Walker at right tackle, and picks up the 1st down. Nick Mitchell rolls the dice early. And the Rustlers with a fresh set of downs in Riverside territory. Back to Morris. Brought down after a gain of a couple. That was Linné on the stop, David Linné. Gain of perhaps a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. Football resting at the Tiger 24-yard line. Clock moving. Winding down towards 6 minutes to go. Banua looking deep in the pass, incomplete. Going for Schmidt, who got a hand on it, but couldn't bring it in. There is a flag down. This will back the Rustlers up. Hearing the call, an eligible man downfield.
2nd down and 13.
There you see Schmidt working against Walter Manning. Manning sharing time at that cornerback spot with Ian Beauregard. for the most part, with Shaheem Taylor over on the other side. 2nd and 13 after the 5-yard penalty. Banua flushed from the pocket, now just has to throw this one away. Tigers pumped up. Rustlers now facing a 3rd and long. Back at the 34-yard line. So the Rustlers, you would believe, need some yardage to even consider the field goal right now. This would be 51 yards. And again, light winds, perhaps 5 to 10 miles an hour here in Huntington Beach. Three wide receivers to the left for Banua, who has Ardwan Morris in the backfield. 3-man rush, quarterback draw. Banua spins away from one tackle. Flags are down in the Golden West backfield. Banua got back to the line of scrimmage. But this is where you might expect to see a hold.
Holding number 69 in the offense.
Despite the rush of just 3, the Tigers were able to bring the pressure. It's hard to tell if that play was a design draw for Noah Banua, or if the protection breakdown was such that Banua had to scramble immediately. Either way, he got back to the line. And I thought it was 3rd down, but it's possible we lost a play here. From the 34. No, it's 4th and 13. So the Rustlers gonna roll the dice once again. Banua under pressure, hit as he went to throw. Aisi Magale had him wrapped up, and Banua, with a desperation move, just tries to flick that one out, but nobody home. And the Tigers, who were able to bring pressure on the quarterback so consistently a year ago. A spectacular defensive line led by Isaiah Bogar, Peter Ayabi, Juwan Nixon, who have all moved on to 4-year programs. The Tigers producing 46 sacks as a team a year ago. And they're able to bring the pressure again. Quick slant, 1st down and more into the Rustlers secondary. Down to the 41, back to Nixon, who's having a big first period. Had the touchdown reception earlier. And now a chunk gain takes it into Rustler territory at the 42. 24 yards for Nixon on the reception. Deep throw, and a late flag comes in. Nixon wrapped up with Drew Faulkner. One-on-one down that far side. Faulkner, one of just a couple of returning sophomores in the Rustler secondary. Working against Nixon. We'll wait on the call. This gonna go against Golden West. Already a few penalties against the Rustlers. Once again, struggling with penalties so far today. 15 yards. We'll take it to the 27 of Golden West. Doolittle continuing at the controls. Movement on that Tiger offensive line.
False start, number 58 in the offense. 5-yard penalty.
False start. We'll back it up. 1st and 15. And this becomes a big possession early on for the Rustlers, already down 7-0. They have to find a way to keep the Tigers out of the end zone. Looking deep once again for Logan Quates, and the pass incomplete. First incompletion for Jared Doolittle, who's now 4 of 5 for 69 yards. Tigers working quickly, and more trouble on the exchange. And And this is going to back the Tigers up 5 more yards.
Second down and 20.
And that cannot be welcome news on that Riverside sideline.
Let's go, defense!
They have the Rustlers on their heels. A couple of big plays early, already leading it and driving, but now back themselves up 10 yards for a 2nd and 20. Quarterback draw, Doolittle, big hit just inside the 35, down to the 34. Let's see if that pumps up this Rustler defense. Looked like Cruz Wheeler, the returning sophomore, and watch here as Doolittle
5-yard gain on the play.
stays up,
15.
but maybe shouldn't have. Gets back 5 yards, leaves a 3rd and 15. Receivers left and right. With Marquise Monroe in the backfield. 3-man rush, delayed handoff, good hole for Monroe. Quickly closed by Josh Clark, but gets it back to the 27. Might come down to the spot. That's an interesting play call. Kevin Kraft electing to go a more conservative route on a 3rd and 15 rather than challenging the Rustlers. It would seem downfield. It does pick up 8 yards to get it back to a 3rd and 7, and now Tigers will try for a field goal of 44 yards in the air and just short. So the Rustlers get a big stop and trail it now, still just 7-0. Timothy Tynan, who was 1 of 2 a week ago. The one field goal, just a chip shot, listed as 16 yards. I'm not sure that's technically possible, but either way, the field goal, a short one, but that attempt came from 44 yards and didn't quite get it there. So the Rustlers get it back, still down 7-0. But the Tiger drive stalls, and they come up empty. Again, the handoff on the left side, and good penetration from that Tiger defensive line. Matthew Saavedra among the first to get there. Minimal gain, if anything. To the 26, brings up 2nd down. Well, a season ago, the Rustlers had good success running the football in this matchup. That 37-36 win. Short throw complete to McKissick, the tight end, to the 39. Should say to the 34. Couple of yards shy of the 1st down, brings up a big 3rd and 2. In that win a year ago, the Rustlers racked up 177 yards on the ground, but 90 of those yards came from quarterback Will Burns, who has moved on after a tremendous year a year ago to Southern Utah, opening the door for Banua. 3rd and 2, out to McKissick in the flat, spins away from one tackler, has the 1st down, down to the 42. Manning coming up for the stop, so 3 catches early for Banua, who is zeroing in on his tight end, Will McKissick. There's a good job. Actually, it was McKissick fighting off Manning before being brought down. Enough for the 1st down. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Morris on the handoff, trying to string it out. He's going to be hit and brought down for a loss on the play. Not going to get away from Micah Valenzuela and Aise Magale, both getting there very quickly. And you see Magale getting there first, and then Valenzuela wanting to get in on the party. Loss of a couple. Back to the 38. And this is a young defense under new defensive coordinator Eduardo Pacheco. but still big, fast, and talented. Inside handoff, Valenzuela there. Gain of perhaps 3.
Gain of 4.
Lene
Third down.
finishing off Ardwan Morris, who gets to the 41, brings up a 3rd and long for the Rustlers. Winding down under a minute to go in the first period. Rustlers just 1 of 5 on 3rd down here in the first quarter, and this a 3rd and 9. Tigers showing blitz. Now they'll drop off. Straight drop for Banua. Now rolling right. Lobs down the sideline, incomplete. Not much room.
Fourth down.
He was looking for Donovan Arrington.
I got sideline warning, Riverside.
So the Tigers get the stop. They'll get it back. 37 seconds remaining in the first period. Here from Golden West College. And the Tigers, on the strength of the Doolittle to Nixon touchdown pass, have the 7-0 lead. Second punt today for Aaron Stock, a short kick in his first effort. Left a short field for the Tigers, leading to the touchdown. Better kick for Stock. This one all the way back, does take a Tiger bounce at the 26, but a much better effort for Stock the second time around, and a longer field for the Tigers, who will start from their own 26. The Tigers catch a pretty major break here on that bounce. After that one went over the head of Donovan Ferguson. And if that takes any kind of Rustler bounce, that might have gone all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Instead, the bounce goes the other way, and the Tigers start from their own 26, much more manageable. Change in the backfield, Doolittle sidearms into the flat, and the pass incomplete. A little bit off the mark. Incomplete. Tyler on in the backfield for Riverside.
Second and 10.
Kyle Tyler, sophomore out of Fontana. Gets the call over his right guard. Out to the 26. Brings up 3rd down.
Bob Andrews took a tackle. 5-yard gain. 3rd down and 5.
Perhaps time for one more play. Nope.
That's the end of the first.
Through 1. Riverside on top of Golden West 7-0. It's Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. First play, second quarter. And the throw over the middle, and a spectacular catch for the first down for the Tigers. What a huge conversion. Donovan Ferguson with the shoestring catch all the way up to the 47-yard line. And a first down just off the turf. Boy, that was close for Ferguson, who takes that lower than the shoestrings. That was right off the turf. Pass to the near side, incomplete, looking for Nixon. Tigers again wanting to move quickly against this Rustler defense. They eventually spotted the ball at the 45 after the catch by Ferguson, where it'll be 2nd and 10. They'll empty the backfield. They send Taylor out to the far side. Doolittle's pass over the middle. A gain of perhaps a couple. After the completion, quickly there, Brandon Soleau, the returning sophomore, leading tackler on this Rustler defense as a freshman a season ago. And he leads a very strong linebacking core for the Rustlers, who are very young on the defensive line and in the defensive backfield. But with Clark, Wheeler, and Soleau at linebacker, they are experienced and talented at that linebacker spot. Timeout on the field. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Tigers. Early second quarter, Riverside on top, 7-0. Tigers 2 of 3 on 3rd down in the game so far, facing a 3rd and 7 from their own 48. Blitz coming, good protection, throws over the middle, incomplete. Trying to squeeze it into Ferguson once again, but Cruz Wheeler, one of those talented linebackers, dropping back into coverage, able to get a hand in. The Rustlers come up with another stop. So after that quick start on the opening drive, the Rustler defense, a lot of credit, coming up with a couple of stops, thwarting this Tiger offense and keeping themselves in the game. Still just a 7-0 score. Back deep, Abram Rubio with his first punt. Fair catch made. And the Rustlers back on offense. Well, the Rustlers able to find the big play at Mount San Jacinto. But this is a different story so far. The 3 big touchdown passes for Banua in the road win. But so far, Banua 6 of 9, but for just 26 yards. Meanwhile, the struggles continue on the ground. Overall, 11 carries for just 23 yards. Biggest play so far, a 12-yard run by Kendrick Thompson in the first quarter. First down carry, and the first carry for sophomore Aaron Mitchell. Picks his way forward to the 27. About 4 yards for Mitchell, leaving a 2nd down and 6.
2nd down.
Mitchell continues in the backfield. 2nd and 6. Tigers showing blitz and now some movement before the snap. It's going to back the Rustlers up. Mentioned the 46 sacks a season ago from the Tigers. And off to a pretty good start in 2025. 3 sacks in the win over Long Beach.
2nd down and 11.
So they lost the leading pass rushers on the season ago, from a season ago, but it would appear they've reloaded. Banua stepping up, has some room. Out past the 35, he'll head out of bounds at the 38. Good enough for a first down. Well, this to some degree is what helped the Rustlers so much a season ago in this matchup. Burns and his ability to run the ball nearly 100 yards on the ground. So critical in extending drives for the Rustlers, who ended up putting 37 points on the board. Good running room for Mitchell. Down the far side at the 20, 15, 10, and forced out of bounds. Rustlers had been looking for the big play, and they get it as Mitchell around the right side, able to beat one tackler there, and that sprung him. Huge gain for Mitchell. 60 yards all the way down inside the Tiger 5. And yeah, the best shot there was for Isaiah Ayers, one-on-one with Mitchell, and Mitchell able to get by and nearly took it all the way. He'll get the call here, twisting forward to the goal line and in for the touchdown. Second effort for Aaron Mitchell, who's hit a couple of yards short, but spins off a tackle and drives in for the touchdown. The Rustlers find the big play, and now just an extra point away from tying things up. And again, you go back to last year, where an early missed extra point did eventually loom large. So these become big plays. Placement down, kick is up and good. 12:04 remaining in the first half. The Rustlers have evened it up. Tied at 7, it's Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Golden West, number 2, has changed his jersey for this play to number 68. 2 to 68.
The 4-yard touchdown run for Aaron Mitchell ties things up at 7. And the Rustlers, who were able to take advantage of an ability to run the ball to both keep drives going and control the clock a season ago, able to find that recipe once again on that drive. The big run by Mitchell, flipping the field. And eventually the Rustlers in. So we'll update the scoreboard as we're tied at 7 after the short return. They'll spot it at the 25, and that's where the Tigers will go to work. Still Jared Doolittle at the controls. He's been outstanding, 6 of 10 for 91 yards and a touchdown. Looking deep, has a man wide open, and it's dropped. Donovan Ferguson can't quite bring it in, but he was all alone. Clearly a blown coverage and not the easiest catch. A little bit over the shoulder for Ferguson, but you've got to believe that's a ball he'd love to have back. Did get his hands on it, but couldn't quite bring it in. Quick slant. Nixon with the reception, just shy of the 30. It'll bring up a third down. Flags are down in the Riverside backfield.
Illegal shift. Man in motion.
This going to go against the Tigers.
Set. If you find your penalty,
So they'll wipe off the reception by Nixon, and it will be a 2nd and long. And what a break for the Rustlers.
Let's go, defense!
Ferguson was in the clear on the far side, but Doolittle can't make the connection. 2nd down and 15. They set up the screen. And a modest gain, if anything, looking for Taylor out of the backfield. But saw earlier on a run by Morris, trying to run laterally against this Tiger defense, and it's very, very difficult to do so fast from sideline to sideline. Both of these defenses are, and that's a similar dynamic. A screen can work, but the Rustlers are so quick defensively. Another deep throw. This one is complete. This is going to go for a Tiger touchdown. No one's going to catch Logan Quates. And that looked like perhaps the same play. And once again, the Tiger receiver was all alone. We'll have a couple of looks. But Quates in the clear. This time the pass right on target. And no chance for the Rustlers to recover against Logan Quates, who takes it in for the touchdown. So on a 3rd and long, the Tigers convert in the biggest way possible. Second touchdown pass for Doolittle. And for Quates, 82 yards for the touchdown. And Riverside back up 14-7. We'll step aside very briefly. From Golden West College, it's Rustler football on SoCal College Sports. Riverside back on top after the 82-yard touchdown pass. Doolittle to Quates. And a short return. Late flags come in out to the 25-yard line. But let's wait and see. Did see a Tiger player lose a helmet. This is going to go against Riverside, so the field position gets a little better for the Rustlers, who will now start from their own 41. So penalty's been something of a wash in this first half. Golden West with 4, and I believe now that the 6th on the Tigers. The Tigers just the opposite in week 1. Just 6 penalties for 58 yards in that win against Long Beach. So a decidedly clean effort. They already have 6 here today. Short gain on a first down carry for Mitchell, who is driven back after a gain of a couple. Trying to go straight into the teeth of that Tiger defensive line. Saavedra, middle linebacker, Micah Valenzuela. There quickly. 2nd down and 8. As they give Mitchell, well, 2nd and 9, they give Mitchell a yard. 3 wide receivers. Banua out in the flat. Catch is made by Mitchell. And Mitchell twisting his way forward, but takes a big hit. Another Tiger player losing a helmet. Mitchell got out past the 45 to the 47. Lene moving over for the stop. Brings up a 3rd down and 4. And 3rd downs critical. And the Rustlers just 1 of 6 on 3rd down so far today. This would be a big one. After the big play, Rustlers would like to not just answer back, but continue the drive. Throw over the middle, incomplete, flags coming in. That looked like Beauregard perhaps on the coverage. Let's watch one more time. Yeah, Beauregard working against Aiden Goodwin, freshman from Oceanside, the intended target. And the penalty going to give the Rustlers a 1st down, moving it into Riverside territory at the 43. Again, last season, in a 1-point win, the Rustlers held the ball for almost 36 minutes. So this is the recipe that they're looking for, certainly. Sustained drives. Keeps the Tiger offense off the field. Meanwhile, a fumble on the quarterback draw, and it looks like the Tigers have it. Let's watch one more time and see if Banua ever really had it. Perhaps on the exchange, never quite had it back on the read option. And it's Zion Magale who ends up falling on it for the Tigers. Let's watch here as the fake to Nainoa Simmons, who had checked in the backfield. And the ball squirts out. Magale ends up with it, continuing his solid play here early in the season. 2 sacks a week ago. Now a big fumble recovery, the first turnover for either team. And the Tigers have it, leading by 7. They'll set up the screen on the near side, looking for blocks, and a 1st down. Marshall out of the backfield moves it into Rustler territory. Well, let's see where they spot it. Yeah, at the 50. Good enough for an immediate 1st down, and I mentioned earlier that it's not easy to set up a screen against a defense like the Rustlers. Into the Rustlers secondary, Marshall on the carry. Another 1st down. Down to the 37, 13 yards for Marshall, back-to-back solid gains for Jonathan Marshall on his first 2 touches. And the Tigers quickly on the move, now looking for it all. Deep throw, caught for a touchdown. Camden Connor. First catch for Connor as Doolittle, with the Rustler defense perhaps on their heels, takes a shot downfield, and Connor, with a step, brings it in for the touchdown. And the big plays that were the calling card for the Rustlers a week ago. Now it's the Tigers coming up with a couple of big plays here in the 2nd quarter to open up a 14-point lead. 21-7, 7:57 remaining in the first half. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So a big answer from the Tigers after the Rustlers tied it up earlier in the second quarter. The Tigers have come back with back-to-back scoring drives. Doolittle now with 3 touchdown passes here in the first half. Finding Quates and then Camden Connor. First catch for Camden Connor on the young season, and it's a big one. 38 yards and a touchdown. A scoring drive of just 3 plays for the Tigers. So it didn't take long. They have opened up the 21-7 lead. Well, now the Rustlers badly need an answer against an offense like this. It can get late early. 7:54 remaining in the first half. Doolittle now up to 218 yards passing in the first half. And those numbers somewhat in line with a week ago when the Tigers put up 565 yards of total offense. Banua back on. Tigers showing blitz. First down, carry Simmons. Off tackle on the right side and a gain of about 3. Call it 4 to the 24. First carry for Simmons, who came on just in that last drive. A 2nd and 6. Both of these teams, as most teams do, will utilize a group of backs sharing time. Already Simmons the 4th with a carry here in the first half. That pass off the hands of Simmons from Banua, and quickly it's a 3rd and 6. Do have a flag down. See again, Zion Magale bringing the pressure. And Banua offline on the pass to Simmons. They'll mark off the penalty. So this will back the Rustlers up. Brings up a 2nd and long. And with the Rustlers already struggling on 3rd down here today, the situation looks just a bit more grim. A 2nd and 16 from their own 14. Straight drop, Banua looking deep, has a man, leaping attempt, and the pass incomplete. It was J.D. Alisea. Now let's see if this ball was in fact intercepted. J.D. Alisea with the leaping attempt. And yeah, that's Ty Staples, who comes away with the interception. So the Rustlers take the shot downfield, and Alisea nearly had it. Again, both hands on it, but can't corral it. And an athletic play from Ty Staples, who goes up and ends up securing that football off the hands of J.D. Alisea, who was the 2nd leading receiver a week ago for the Rustlers. So now a couple of turnovers for the Rustlers in the first half. Doolittle likes to tuck it under. Gained perhaps a yard before Soleau got there. 2nd down and 9, play action. Doolittle taking a shot downfield, and a miscommunication on that route and an interception for the Rustlers, so they immediately get it back. Meanwhile, down the far side, still on his feet on the return. This a solid return deep into Riverside territory as Nigel Mills, the sophomore, comes up with the interception and the lengthy return. And let's watch here as Doolittle clearly not on the same page, as on this throw, Mills is the only one there. And the good work by Nigel Mills on the return. As meanwhile, you do see the late flags come in as they get into it on the return. And let's see if this works against one or both teams. They'll sort it out over on the far side. Right now, I believe the ball would be at the 30-yard line, so this becomes a big call. Does it take it all the way into the Riverside red zone, or does it perhaps move the Rustlers back more toward midfield?
There was a line
This
ball
is going to
and a
come off
dead ball
against the
foul.
Rustlers, I
We had a
believe.
personal foul against number 4, Riverside, on the return. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the spot, which was the 42. After the play was over, dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct, number 20 of Golden West. The end result is going to be 1st and 10 Riverside from the 42-yard line going in. Golden West. Golden West.
Okay, so in the end, it's a spot foul from the 42, but then penalties offset from there. So it looks like Mills doesn't get the full return. They'll take it back to where the foul initially occurred, but the Rustlers do keep the football, and they'll have it in Riverside territory at the Tiger 43.
Correction, the foul occurred at the 43. 1st and 10, Golden West.
The Rustlers in some trouble moments ago, down 21-7. Tigers had the ball back after another turnover, but the defense comes up with a big play. Mills with the interception. And the Rustlers get it back and have it in Tiger territory. Can they take full advantage and pull a little closer on the scoreboard? They're down 14. Banua with the snap. First down carry, Kendrick Thompson. His first carry since early on. A gain of about 4 will take it to the 39.
Helmet off during play.
There you see the clock and the score. They'll wind the clock, 6:18 and counting. 2nd down and 6. They'll split McKissick, the tight end, out to the slot on the near side. 4 wide receivers on a 2nd and 6. Thompson tries the right side. A pickup of about 3. Following sophomore Tyler Smith on the right side, Grant Walker.
Let's go, line!
The core of that defensive line, returners Dylan Bunbury and Noki Samita. Tyler Smith on the interior. A couple of freshman tackles, Tyler Garcia and Grant Walker for the Rustlers, but overall, some experience on that offensive line. And a 3rd and 3 for the Rustlers. Play action, setting up the screen. McKissick again. The preferred 3rd down target of Noah Banua. Again, has enough for the 1st down. Down to the Riverside 35. Again, they look for McKissick. On the short pass. Brought down by Micah Valenzuela, but not before McKissick moves the chains. And McKissick got all the way down inside the 30, down to the 29, where the Rustlers will have a fresh set of downs. First down carry for Thompson, tries to cut it back. A gain of perhaps a yard. Magale, it looked like, had the initial hit before Isaiah Ayers came in to finish it off. 2nd and 9. And the Rustlers, despite being down 14, I think going to be content. Take a little time off the clock here in the latter stages of this 1st half. Banua pop flies the far side, incomplete. Schmidt working against Taylor.
Third down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 9. Rustlers now up to 3 of 8 on 3rd down in this first half, but this a little bit tougher assignment, facing a 3rd and 9. Well, last week it was Tanner Schmidt, J.D. Alisea,
3rd down and 9.
combining for 8 catches to lead the way. But so far, only McKissick with 4 catches. There's more than one. Banua on the roll, throws, completes. Alisea with the reception. Excuse me, Tanner Schmidt with the reception.
9 yards on
As
the
Banua
play.
able to extend the play. Taylor knocking him out of bounds.
19.
And with the spot, it looks like Schmidt did get enough for the first down. Yep, 9 yards. They needed 9, they got 9. And the Rustlers into the red zone. Banua under pressure, flushed from the pocket. Gonna look to run.
With the run.
Forced out of bounds by Ayers.
8 of 2 on the play.
And again, the pressure coming. Banua able to pick up a couple of yards.
2nd and 8.
Not many trips into the red zone for Golden West in the win over Mount San Jacinto. And now a broken play, but Banua finds a lane in for the touchdown. Making something out of nothing. As the Rustlers in some trouble on that play. But Banua, just trying to get what he can, ends up getting it all. Once he finds that initial hole, not much can be done. It'll go down as a touchdown run for Noah Banua.
Result of the play is touchdown. Upper play is over, dead ball, and sportsmanlike
And there was a dead ball foul after the play, so the touchdown will count. The penalty going to go against the Rustlers, so this will be assessed on the kickoff. But the 17-yard touchdown run for Noah Banua has the Rustlers back within 1 score. Now they'll look for the extra point. Mateo Zavia on to tack on the point after, and he does. And the Rustlers answer back, 21-14. 7-point game from Golden West College. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. .242 remaining in the first half. And the Rustlers back within 7 at 21-14. The Banua touchdown run, pulling the Rustlers back within 1 score. And the dead ball foul means the kickoff will come from the 20. So the Tigers figure to come away with very good field position. Taken from the 25 and out to the 38. Ferguson on the return. And the Tigers do indeed come away with very good starting field position from their own 38. Well, that is the killer of some of those dead ball penalties that come after scores. As you get the 7 points, you're back in the game, but many times it can lead to a short field and a danger of immediately giving those points back. First down handoff and a loss on the play. Loss of a yard coming off the edge. Colt McCready, freshman defensive end, another recruit from Hawaii, which has been a rich recruiting ground for this Golden West program. And McCready comes up with the big play there. Second down handoff, bouncing off tackles. Marshall on the carry, out to the 42. And it'll bring up third down. We're down to the 2-minute timeout. 21-14, Tigers on top here from Huntington Beach. Third down for the Tigers. Doolittle looking over the middle, and the pass incomplete. The Rustlers looking for the quick 3-and-out, appear to have it. He was looking for Dominic Cox, and Cox had a couple of catches early, but has been held relatively in check here in the first half, though that can't be said for the Tiger passing game overall, certainly. There's perhaps that attention to Dominic Cox that you have to pay. Creates the opportunities for the likes of Camden Connor and Logan Quates, who've come up with big plays in a 21-14 game. Kick out of bounds from Stock at the 30. And the Rustlers do have a couple of timeouts. And a little under 2 minutes to work with. That's plenty of time. (21-14). Tigers with the lead. As Manuel will bring the Rustler offense on. Here you see 146. And the Rustlers have all three timeouts. Timeout taken earlier. Thompson on the carry. The Tigers did burn a timeout earlier in the first half, but Rustlers with all three. Gain of about 3 for Thompson on the first down carry. Lene with the stop. Straight drop for Banua, good protection over the middle. Leaping catches made. McKissick into Tiger territory, brought down at the 44. And I think this is the best passing play that we've seen from the Rustlers in the first half. Good protection and a solid pocket for Banua, who delivers a strike to McKissick. Taking it to the Riverside 44. First down, Golden West. And again, the clock, not much of a factor at this point. They'll stop it to move the chains. And again, waiting to wind the clock. So the Rustlers with some time, and of course, again, all three timeouts. Banua. Thompson in the backfield. It's Thompson off tackle on the right side. Slips a tackle. He's down to the 20. In a foot race. Forced out of bounds inside the 10. The Rustlers starting to pile up the yardage on the ground. This time Kendrick Thompson finds a lane on the right side, able to slip out of a tackle. Meanwhile, a flag down and a holding call. So that'll erase the run, or much of it. See if this is a foul for Thompson. But again, following that right side. And it was on the right side where Mitchell was able to find the running room, leading to the 60-yard run. But this brings it all the way back to the 45.
Let's go, O-line!
1st and 12. Back at the Golden West 45. So that penalty is a killer for the Rustlers, who were staring down the Riverside goal line and a chance to perhaps head into the break all tied up, and instead find themselves back at their own 45, still down 7. Blitz coming. Deep drop for Banua. Over the middle, finds McKissick one more time. The Tigers dial up the blitz, but don't get there. And that gives Banua the time to find McKissick for his 6th reception here in the first half. 11 yards takes it to the 29. And does appear to be enough for an immediate first down. They'll overload the near side. Banua looking left, throwing deep. Catch is made inside the 10. What a throw and catch. Finding Aiden Goodwin working one-on-one over there against Manning. And Goodwin brings it in, gets the foot down, and now the Rustlers are inside the Riverside 10. In fact, down at the 5. First down carry, Thompson bouncing it to the outside. Bounces off a tackle, in for a touchdown. Kendrick Thompson breaking tackles and pulling the Rustlers within a point. Well, Thompson denied his big run earlier in the drive, but not to be denied at the goal line. 5-yard touchdown run for Kendrick Thompson. 3rd rushing touchdown here in the first half for the Rustlers. And from 21-7 down, now back within a point, Zavia will look for the tie. And another dead ball foul after a penalty. And we'll look at the time. Under a minute to go, but the Tigers still have 2 timeouts, and now perhaps will come away with very good field position once again. So perhaps time for Riverside to answer back here in the late stages of this first half in a tie game. Tied at 21. There you see the clock, 38 seconds, but the kickoff will come from the 20. And still those 2 timeouts. Golden West, Riverside, all tied up here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Tee it up at the 20. All tied up at 21. Here's the approach and the kick away. Taken at the 25. Now to the 35 and to the 40. So working on getting the scoreboard back, the 15-yard return, and the Tigers will start from the 40. Still with 2 timeouts, and obviously they've shown an ability to strike downfield in a hurry in this first half. Blitz coming, good protection. Now Doolittle flushed from the pocket. Still directing traffic. He'll get what he can and head out of bounds. 6 yards for Doolittle on the carry. Doolittle, familiar with this offense, a backup a year ago, so his second year in the program. Second and 4, Doolittle again on the roll, throws incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 4. Doolittle back up to Brady Jones for much of last year. And again, Kevin Kraft talking about not only learning a lot, again to the quick slant to Nixon, 1st down, 16 seconds. Tigers going to immediately take one of their 2 remaining timeouts, but creeping closer to field goal range. Again, so early in the season for Timothy Tynan, who did miss an attempt from 44 yards earlier. In this one, has 1 field goal on the season, but that was a relatively short one, so we don't know a lot about the range of Tynan. Just to stay with the story about Jared Doolittle, learned a lot from Brady Jones last year, but also worked really closely with Brady Jones, who was very good about working with his fellow quarterbacks and helping them along, and Doolittle has stepped in here into the shared starting role early with Brian Wilson. It's been Doolittle from the outset here today, but Brian Wilson also in the mix, but Doolittle really taking full advantage of that year to learn this offense, and he has been poised and in control early on, midway through week 2, and he's already up to 6 touchdown passes, 235 yards passing here in the first half with the 3 touchdowns and the 1 interception. But you can sense the comfort for Jared Doolittle with this offense and the considerable weaponry he's got at his hands. 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Tigers still with 1 timeout, so they can use the whole field. They have it at the Golden West 38. 4-man rush, Doolittle with time, looking deep over the middle, leaping attempt from Nixon, and he can't come up with it. Good coverage from Taden Rogers, back deep. And this a terrific effort from Nixon to try and get this football. And now time enough for 1 more play. And the Tigers from the Golden West 38. Little choice but to take 1 more shot downfield. They can certainly get it into the end zone from here. And with that in mind, the Rustlers are going to take a timeout. Make sure they're set. Down to 4 seconds remaining. All tied at 21. Late first half. Here from Golden West College. Step aside. the Tigers will set up with receivers left and right. So rather than send everybody down on one side, Doolittle stepping up, heaves for the end zone, and it is batted away. Incomplete. Finishing the first half, all tied at 21, Riverside and Golden West. It's Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the third quarter from Golden West College. Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. All tied at 21 in a back and forth first half. Both offenses having an awful lot of success. 275 total yards in the first half for Riverside. 272 overall for Golden West. Another significant number in that first half, time of possession. Golden West with 149 yards rushing as a team in the first half, 18 minutes plus in time of possession. Will that be a potential storyline in the second half as we head down the stretch, starting the second half, all tied up? Jared Doolittle, 11 of 21, 235 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half for Riverside. Freshman Noah Banua, 12 of 17, 123 yards, no touchdowns in the first half, as again the Rustlers getting a lot of the work done on the ground with all 3 of their touchdowns coming via rushing plays. The kick angled out of bounds, and the Tigers will start the second half with good field position.
RCC will take the ball first and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So they'll start from the 35 after seeing both Doolittle and Brian Wilson in nearly equal measure a week ago. It has been Jared Doolittle start to finish here in the first half, and it is Doolittle that will come out for the third quarter. First and 10 from the 35. And Doolittle comes out. They'll empty the backfield and whistles before the snap. Penalties in the first half. Golden West 8 for 78 yards. Riverside also with 8 for 68. Now make it 9 as a 5-yard penalty. We'll back them up. Tigers did a great job on penalties in their Week 1 win against Long Beach, but historically, Riverside, one of those teams often among the most penalized teams in the 3C2A most years, but paradoxically, one finds that it's often teams that accrue more of the penalties that are among the very top teams year after year. That is generally not the case in football generally, but it does seem to be the case, so not particularly concerning, it would seem, based on performance over the last few years. This ball pops free, a return down the sideline, and this is going to be a Rustler touchdown. Let's wait and see if there are any flags. Cruz Wheeler coming up with the fumble.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 1.
But there is a personal foul. You heard the call there from the field, roughing the passer. So this play likely to be erased.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 1.
It was knocked free originally. It looked like Clark got the initial hit and Cruz Wheeler picked up the football and alertly returned it, but the roughing the passer call on the hit on Doolittle will take the points off the board, and instead will move the ball all the way into Golden West territory at the 48. So Riverside, very few penalties a week ago. 9 penalties so far today, so the number back up. But again, how much that has been a factor over the years for Riverside is debatable. Meanwhile, Golden West, a lot of penalties week 1, but true to form to the point that we're making. 20 penalties, but an 18-point win at Mount San Jacinto. And that is a good win for Golden West for those that perhaps don't follow year to year. Mount San Jacinto, a bowl team from a year ago. Coming all the way from the American Conference over the last few years, making the move to the National Conference and advancing to the Valencia Bowl where they lost to College of the Canyons. But that's a very good win in week 1 to travel to Mount San Jacinto College and get the win. Completion, Ferguson with the reception, able to weave his way forward. On a 2nd and 10 play, he's near the first down marker. Making the move there on Brandon Soleau to pick up a few more yards. It is a first down to the Rustler 37, opening possession of the third quarter. Look out for the pass here. Ferguson wants to throw, but instead he's going to have to eat it. Kikama Kozma able to wrap up Ferguson for the sack. And that play initially blown up. It looked like Clark, was it Soleau, in the backfield in a hurry, made Ferguson tuck it under. That gave Kozma enough time to get there for a 7-yard loss. Now Doolittle with some trouble, tries to throw, hit as he throws. The ball is loose. It's picked up by Clark down to the 10-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle by Taylor. But Golden West does come up with the big turnover here in the third quarter. They appeared to have it moments ago on the forced fumble and recovery by Wheeler, but now they get it on the hit on Doolittle and the fumble returned by Clark. See if maybe we can run that replay once again, as trouble on the snap, and as Doolittle tries to get rid of that football, Rob Andrus coming off the edge, able to get on top of Doolittle, deliver the hit, knocks that ball free. Clark, the sophomore linebacker, with the big return all the way down to the 5. Andrus is pumped up with good reason. They'll spot it at the 8 where it'll be first and goal. The Rustlers looking for the lead. Ardwan Morris picks his way forward, a gain of about 3, takes it down to the 5-yard line. Ty Staples moving up from his safety spot for the stop. The 3-yard gain leaves it second and goal from the 5. Rustlers have been very good in the red zone today. 3 trips, 3 touchdowns. Trying to do it once again. Play action out on the far side. McKissick's 7th reception is good for a 5-yard touchdown. So McKissick continues to be the favorite target for Noah Banua. 7th catch, 5-yard touchdown. First touchdown on the season for Will McKissick. First time today, the Rustlers have the lead, working on 20 unanswered after they trailed it briefly 21-7. You know, you go back to the first half, and not only was it 21-7, but the Rustlers turned it over with an interception, down 14. And the Rustler defense was able to force a turnover almost immediately. A Nigel Mills interception got the ball back for the Rustlers. They took advantage, getting the touchdown off that interception to get back to 21-14. Single plays loom so large, it would seem, and as the Rustlers have now put 21 unanswered on the board. You go back to the interception by Mills, and the Rustlers getting the ball back immediately, regaining some of the momentum when it really appeared to be slipping away. And now they have the lead, but still a long way to go. 12:31 remaining in the third quarter. And the Rustlers, for the first time today, have grabbed the lead at 28-21. Taken at the 5. Now to the 30, 35, tripped up at the 37-yard line. Camden Connor, who had a touchdown reception in the first half, with a 32-yard return. Again, the Rustlers did struggle somewhat in kick coverage a week ago. Struggled on kick returns themselves to the tune of just under 11 yards per return, but also allowed returns of nearly 30 yards. And that is a solid return for Connor. And the Tigers will once again start with very good field position at their own 37-yard line. But trailing now for the first time. And for the first time, we'll see Brian Wilson. Wilson gonna look to run, tripped up, maybe a yard. Bivens coming up for the tackle. John Bivens, freshman out of Kennedy High School in Anaheim. And a good open field tackle. as we see Brian Wilson for the first time today. Brian Wilson, local initially, sent to Campbell. He's hit in the backfield. Loss on the play and a 3rd and long coming up. But Brian Wilson initially headed to Campbell, but then bounced back. Did receive a number of scholarship offers directly out of high school, so another talented quarterback, outstanding student, 4.0 student, interested in heading to law school at the conclusion of his college career. Straight drop, 3rd and long. Wilson under pressure again, still scrambling. Now tries to twist his way forward. Got to the 36, but the Rustler pressure. Josh Clark coming on the blitz, and eventually Kozma finishing off Wilson at the 36, but the Rustlers come up with a good stand defensively, forcing the quick 3 and out on Brian Wilson's first series at the helm for the Tigers, and the Rustlers will get it back, leading by 7. And now the onus jumps to the Tigers, who will be looking to make a play to seize some measure of momentum back, as right now it's all Golden West. Going to step aside for an injury timeout. Golden West on top, 28-21 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Punting unit on for the Tigers from their own 36. Early stages, 3rd quarter. What a response from the Rustlers. Rustlers also trailed it early at Mount San Jacinto against the Eagles. Did come back to take the lead by the half. It was 17-13. Rustler defense blanked the Eagles in the second half as they pulled away to a 31-13 lead. But actually, both these teams trailed early before coming on to take control later on in their respective Week 1 wins. Kick from Rubio, 29 yards. And the Rustlers will start from the 35, and they have to come out a very confident bunch at this point. Of course, the ebb and flow of this matchup, not just today, but how about all time, just seems to go back and forth. So hang on. Let's see where the next big play comes from. Banua looks over the Tiger defense. Blitz coming. Manuel rolling right. Throws, and the pass incomplete. Off the hands of his intended target, looking for Dom Thompson. Brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Second and 10.
Again, they'll split McKissick out on the left side into the slot. Receivers left and right. 2nd and 10 for Banuo with Ardwan Morris in the backfield. Morris on the handoff, nearly lost the handle as he was hitting the backfield. Flags are down. Morris, with second effort, manages to only lose a couple of yards. That play blown up very quickly. And Morris in all kinds of trouble, and it was nearly disaster for the Rustlers. Watch here again. As some trouble on the exchange. Yeah, you see, Morris actually got it cleanly, does a good job to not lose the football. The penalty flag is against Golden West. So let's see, as Morris lost a couple of yards, I wonder if the Tigers might just take the result of the play here and leave a 3rd and 12 for the Rustlers, who are 4 of 9 on 3rd down. But if my memory is right, Golden West has picked up their last 3 3rd downs. So they're getting better. I believe at one point they were 1 of 6. Now 4 of 9, but this is a tough one at 3rd and 12. Banua steps up into the pocket, dumps it short, completes the pass. And the run after the catch might be enough for the 1st down, as Banua checks down and finds Mateo Portillo. Watch here. This is just good poise from Portillo, and Portillo able to get separation from Zion Magale, who's got a tough assignment, trying to keep up with him in coverage. And all the way out to midfield, and good for a 1st down. Another 3rd down conversion. Flags are down on a 1st down carry by Morris. Initially, about a 3-yard pickup for Morris.
Illegal substitution.
This
defense
might be coming back. It's an illegal substitution.
1st down.
Oh, this is going to go against Riverside. So
1st and 5 at the 45.
5 yards. It'll remain 1st down, so a 1st and 5 from the Riverside 45. So the illegal substitution buys the Rustlers another 5 yards. They're on the move again, looking to extend on the lead. Morris straight ahead, following his standout sophomore center Inoki Samita for a gain of about 3. Leaves a 2nd down and 2. Clock moving.
2nd down and 2.
Golden West continues to pull away in terms of time of possession as well. Can they wear down this young Tiger defense? Under 9 to go in the 3rd period. 2nd and 2. He'll keep it on the ground, trying the left side, churning his legs. It was Morris on the carry. Now, little fisticuffs, and here comes the late flag. At the tail end of that play, it looked like Sean Saavedra was there. A little push from Morris from the turf. Saavedra and a couple of offensive linemen come over, and now the flag. So let's see what happens. The Rustlers had the 1st down on the 4-yard run by Morris.
After
Have
the
to
play
sort
was
out
over,
who's at
dead
fault.
ball on sportsmanlike conduct, number 55. The result of the play was a 1st down. So we're going to march the 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10, Golden West.
So they get the 1st down, but the personal foul going against Golden West. Lihanu Atuatasi, sophomore. So that'll cost them 15 yards. It will be 1st and 10, but it will move the ball back into Golden West territory at their own 48. And this somewhat reminiscent of a drive we saw earlier back in the 1st quarter. Riverside had the lead 7-0 on their 2nd possession, and they were moving the ball into Golden West territory. Had the Rustlers reeling somewhat defensively. Banua finds a lane and picks up good yardage on the run back into Riverside territory. But that drive stalled thanks to a couple of penalties that stalled not just the drive but the momentum overall. Golden West took advantage to eventually tie it up, and before that scramble by Banua, it felt like a similar situation, but Banua able to pick up 13 yards. An immediate first down back to the 39, so Golden West overcomes the penalty on the Banua run. Mitchell down to the 35. 4 yards brings up a second down and 6.
Good job, O-line!
So often you see it. Penalties, sacks, drive killers, but that time Golden West, thanks to the legs of freshman Noah Banua. Back to work, back in Riverside territory. Mitchell remains in the game in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the right. On a 2nd and 6 play. Straight drop for Banua. Blitz coming. Stepping up. And the throw incomplete in the general area of J.D. Alisea. Alisea, 3 catches a week ago, but he's been held without a catch so far today. 3rd and 6. Another 3rd down for Golden West. From the Riverside 35. Well, will he go to McKissick? We've seen an awful lot of that today. 7 catches, bunch formation with Mitchell in the backfield. Tigers showing blitz. Here they come. Banua, good protection, throwing on the left side. Completes the pass for a first down and more. Inside the 20 and eventually forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Finding Tanner Schmidt. And this starts with great protection up front. As again, the Tigers come with the blitz, but they had 1 sack early. But they've had trouble generating a lot of pressure on Noah Banua so far for the most part today. Trouble on the snap. Banua has it. Now just going to try to get what he can. He is brought down for a loss. That'll back him up a couple of yards back to the 18. Caden Ariano coming from his linebacker spot. First to get there. Wrap up Banua. Lengthy drive for the Rustlers. Clock moving, under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Rustlers back in the red zone where they have had a lot of success today. 4 for 4. Looking for more. Straight drop. Steps up, throws on the far side, and the pass incomplete. They tried to bring the blitz off the edge that time, but not having a lot of success getting there. And give Banua some credit, getting the ball out quickly. The pass incomplete. It's Jamar Scott coming on the blitz for the Tigers now. A 3rd and 12. So the Rustlers increasing their degree of difficulty on the 3rd down conversions. A 3rd and long from the Riverside 18. Pop flies, looking for Schmidt. Has the catch for the touchdown. Working against Beauregard. It was one-on-one coverage.
Result of the play is touchdown. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 56, for the defense.
You do hear the penalty call. The roughing the passer. We'll have a shot of it here, just at the tail end there. I believe that might have been Ariano coming again on the blitz, but Banua the ball away. So obviously the play counts. Touchdown pass for Banua. His 2nd here in the 2nd half. And Golden West pushes the lead to 13. Yet another 3rd down conversion as he finds Schmidt in the end zone for the touchdown. Point after good, and now the Rustlers will tee it up from midfield. When we come back, 5:36 remaining in the third quarter, Golden West on top, 35-21 Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Rustlers with now 28 unanswered. What an answer back at home. After trailing 21-7, they have now pushed the lead to 14. This was the lead for Riverside briefly back in the second quarter. And the Rustlers have turned the tables. And the Tigers looking for something, anything, to change up the momentum. The kickoff coming from the 50, and they'll take a little off. This one taken at the 1. Now a little lane, out past the 25, tripped up at the 30. Boy, that was a shoestring tackle that might have saved a much bigger return. I believe it was Jerome Lilio. Let's watch here, who just gets a handout on the Ferguson return. Yeah, I'll tell you. If Lilio doesn't get a hand there, Ferguson might be off to the races. Just that close. As it is a solid return of 29 yards, and the Tigers with Brian Wilson at the controls. Back to work now, down 14. Wilson flushed from the pocket, throws on the run. The shoestring attempt by Cox. And it looks like he's got it. Third catch for Dominic Cox. Let's watch here as Cox shows the hands on the throw by Wilson. That is a great catch from Cox, sliding down. Again, over 1,200 yards receiving a year ago. Just a spectacularly talented freshman. And Dominic Cox certainly looking ahead to continuing his career past his time here at Riverside City College, but the Tigers happy to have him back for another year in the program as Dominic continues to work on his academics and getting himself ready to make the next step and transfer to a four-year school where you've got to believe there are going to be some suitors interested in bringing him in. So the Tigers will take it as they get Cox back for another year. Third catch today. Takes it to the Rustler 49. First down carry and a gain of about 4. Down to the 45. Kyle Taylor on the carry, and watch there, I believe that was Soleil. Yep, fending off a block. Speaking of talented freshmen, back for a sophomore season, Soleil, the leading tackler as a freshman for the Rustlers a season ago.
First start, number 4 of the offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's a good example as you watch that play of the talent for Soleil as he's working on the inside, but manages to stay with that play, fend off a block, and eventually make the tackle. False start makes it 2nd and 11 for the Tigers. Wilson has 2 wide receivers to the right. Straight drop out in the flat and off the hands of Taylor. Wilson trying to check down. Taylor wants that ball back, but I don't know how much room he really had. Let's watch here. So for Riverside, 4 of 8 on third down. This a 3rd and 11. Last week, Golden West held Mount San Jacinto to just 3 of 12 on third down in the game. So this is one of the most difficult defenses you'll find to convert on 3rd and long. That's the assignment here for Wilson. Steps back, good protection. Now to the right, now looking for a lane. Bounces off a Soleil tackle, but brought down by Andrus short of the marker. So Wilson scrambles but doesn't get there, and a decision for Kevin Kraft. They are in Rustler territory, and you got a lot of time, but take a chance here. Try and continue this drive.
Personal foul. Illegal hands of face. Number 12 of the defense.
Well, never mind.
15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First
Because
down.
the personal foul, legal hands to the face, will take away the decision from Kevin Kraft. We'll never know what his thought was, as it'll move it all the way to the 27. So penalties continue to be a factor for both teams. That one extends the drive. And now the Tigers with a chance inside the Rustler 30. Back to the skinny post, and the pass a little bit behind. Looking for Ferguson. And Wilson a little off target with the pass. 2nd down and 10. Taylor continues in the backfield.
2nd and 10.
Quick snap. Dangerous pass out in the flat. This is going to be a loss on the play. No chance for Ferguson. Bivens there quickly. So John Bivens, who just watch here, had a notion of jumping that route. But instead, they'll move it back to the 30. The loss of 3 makes it a 3rd and 13. Blitz coming. Wilson guns over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Connor. So Camden Connor was short of the marker anyway.
Offense.
There is a flag down, but you got to believe this one is going to be, well, are they just going to
Little shift.
automatically
Offense.
assess this?
Declined. 4th down.
Okay. So yeah, the Rustlers obviously going to decline, and it makes it 4th and 13. And again, we saw Tynan try from 44 yards earlier, down 14. A field goal, even with a lot of time left, doesn't do you a whole lot of good here. So the thinking on the Riverside sideline, going to take a shot here on a 4th and 13 from the Rustler 30. They'll empty the backfield as Taylor heads to the slot. Blitz coming. Wilson stepping up, still looking, now throws on the far side, incomplete. Looking for Ferguson, or I should say Connor, and he took a shot while he was in the air. Everybody's okay, but the pass incomplete. The Rustlers will get the football back, leading by 14. And there you see Connor up in the air, and Mills delivering the hit. 3:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the Rustlers have it back, leading by 14. Snap to Banua, 1st down carry. Pushing the pile for a gain of about 3. Valenzuela on the stop. Flags are down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 96 of the defense, 99 of the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're going to get
1st
Miles
down.
Hancock for a face mask. So 3 yards on the run, 15 yards on the penalty. And right away, the Rustlers out near midfield. They'll have it at their own 48.
1st and 10.
This will back up the Rustlers 5 yards. Looked like the movement came on the right side. And I suspect that you see a fair amount of this. The Tigers pretty active defensively pre-snap. We've seen a lot of movement today. They'll show blitz, back off.
Disconcerting
Sometimes
against
bring
the
it.
defense, delay a game. 5-yard penalty.
They'll move it
Still
around.
first down.
But on that play, it's actually going to go against Riverside. They're going to call them for a delay of game. So, though, obviously there was movement on that Rustler line, the flag goes against the Tigers. First and 5 in Riverside territory. Morris on the carry. Runs into a wall, tries to bounce off, got to the 45. Pickup of a couple of yards. Let's watch here. Right into the line, and yes, Saavedra forming a wall. And Morris does well to bounce off. Managed to pick up a couple. Leaves a 2nd down and 3. Rustler is certainly content to work the clock late in the third. Under 2 minutes to go. Third period. Erdogan Morris, a hard 19 yards on 10 carries. Banua looking on the near side, nearly intercepted by Lene. Was looking for Schmidt. And James Lene was, I should say David Lene, was all over that pass. This is a big break for the Rustlers, as not only do they get away with possibly having a turnover, but if Lene can get there a fraction of a second sooner, he's got nothing but open field in front of him. So no interception, and an interception that could have easily been 6 going the other way if Lene gets there just a moment sooner. 3rd and 4, excuse me. Banua straight drop, looking over the middle. The pass tipped up in the air. This one is picked off. So the interception for the Tigers on the 3rd and long. Donald Smith able to bring it in. Ends up functioning as something of a short punt in any event on a 3rd down. But Banua, his 2nd interception, and both of them eerily similar. Again, off the hands of an intended receiver, and Smith with the good hands. Able to get about 15 yards on the return back to the 37. Well, it was a turnover that decidedly changed the momentum back for Golden West in the first half. Certainly the hope among the Riverside fans is that it'll happen once again. Near interception on the far side, but the catch is made out to midfield. Logan Quates with his 2nd catch had the big touchdown reception back in the 2nd quarter of 82 yards. So with that catch, already getting close to 100 yards receiving. Marshall on a delayed handoff to the 48, a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7, under a minute to go, 3rd quarter. Time enough certainly for at least one more play for the Tigers, who are moving quickly. Doolittle back on at quarterback, fires on the far side, trying to squeeze it in for Quates again. Incomplete. There is a flag down in the Rustler secondary. So after a couple of drives for Brian Wilson, it's back to
number
Doolittle.
6 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
This call going against Golden West. So they'll move it inside the Rustler 40 to the 38-yard line, where it'll be 1st down. The penalty does give the Rustlers a chance to make a couple of substitutions defensively, down to 33 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Play action for Doolittle, sets and fires, completes the pass inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. First reception today, as he finds Dominic Bechtel, freshman tight end. Bechtel's reception takes it down to the Golden West 24. Time enough for another play if they hurry. Down to 3 seconds. Doolittle's got to hurry. They're not going to get the play off. End of the third quarter, and the Rustlers leading at 35-21, but the Tigers on the move. When we come back, it's Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the fourth quarter from Golden West College. And the Rustlers with the 35-21 lead. Doolittle throwing over the middle, completes the pass inside the 20. Finding Nixon, who is driven down. But with forward progress, looks like a pickup of about 8 yards. Watch here as he takes a big hit. Won't go down. Eventually, Orlando Bustamante helps him to the turf. They'll give him 6 yards. Leaves a 2nd and 4. First out handoff and the first touch for Kavion Sibley. Sibley on the carry. What a debut for Sibley a week ago. For Long Beach, 1 carry, but it was a 74-yard touchdown in the win against Long Beach. Didn't get a whole lot there, maybe a yard. Brings up a critical 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Good protection for Doolittle. Completes the pass now. There come the flags, and boy, that is unfortunate, I think, if you're Riverside. Dominic Cox makes the reception, appeared to have enough for the first down. And then there's a shot. Let's watch at the tail end here. Yeah. Well, there's no question about it there.
Result of the play was
understand that a little bit if you're Dominic Cox. There's definitely a push.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4
preceding
on the offense. That 15-yard penalty being forced. It'll be 1st and 10. RC.
Well, that is tough for Dominic Cox. Rob Andrus on the cover, and as I say, you watch that there, and you can understand there's definitely a little bit at the tail end of that play, but if you're Dominic Cox, I think you have got to find a way to let that slide, because you're going to get caught as the second one in that situation more often than not. The second push is the one that usually gets the flag, and that one cost them 15 yards. So it is a dead ball foul, so they will get the first down, but it does move the ball back to the 28-yard line. Play action for Doolittle. Fires over the middle, complete, down near the goal line, reaching, it's Ferguson. They're going to say he's about a half a yard shy.
The player is down by contact. First down.
So there is, I couldn't quite tell if there was a flag down at the end of that play, but the result of the play, 27.5 yards from the 28 as Ferguson gets down inside the 1. So they overcome the penalty. that backed him up momentarily to the 28-yard line. Quick handoff inside for Marshall, and it looks like Marshall did get in, or was it Sibley?
Offsides defense, that play is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Okay, let's run it back, and it's Sibley in the eye going straight ahead. Does get in. There was a flag down against Golden West. That penalty will be declined. So Riverside completes the drive, gets the touchdown on the 1-yard run by Kavion Sibley. Set up by the pass play, finding Ferguson down to the 1-foot line. Extra point is good. Plenty of time. 12:51 remaining in the ball game. Down the stretch we come. Golden West and Riverside back to a 7-point game on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Tigers finally break the run for the Rustlers. Back within 7, now down 35-28. Orozco will tee it up. Tigers overcoming a couple of penalties on that drive, but eventually able to get in on the Sibley short run. Kick through the end zone. We'll start from the 25. And now the pressure ever so slightly moves to the Rustler offense. Still a lot of time remaining.
Let's go offense!
But the Rustlers could use a couple of first downs, maybe get a measure of momentum back. Tigers looking for a quick 3-and-out, get their offense back on the field. Perhaps get it back to a tie game. First down handoff, no gain on the play. They try the left side, Micah Valenzuela there quickly. Not much doing on the carry for Simmons. 2nd down and 10. Simmons just a couple of carries today. But we've seen Morris, Thompson, Mitchell, now Simmons. Figures to be a crowded backfield. Snap to Banua. 2nd down carry. Simmons finds a little more room this time on the right side. Near the first down marker. Brought down by Staples. That's a good job on the right side again. Smith and Walker on that right side, and that's where the Rustlers have had much of their success running the football. Actually on the right side as well. That was a Tuatasi helping to open up that hole. On the run by Simmons, 10 yards was good enough for a first down. First down carry for Kendrick Thompson, gain of a couple. So right away, I'll give Thompson only a yard, not much of a spot. Right away, Rustlers get something of what they were looking for. They do move the chains, can take a little more time off the clock. Again, they continue to dominate in terms of time of possession, though that last drive for the Tigers was lengthy, and it did even it up somewhat. But the Rustlers have controlled the football once again, as they did last year in the win. Banua plants and fires downfield. Sliding catch is made. Schmidt with the reception in Tiger territory at the 43-yard line. This starts with good protection up front. Something of a designed roll. Magale getting in there, but can't get to Banua, who has enough time to find Schmidt at the 43. And the Tigers had an early sack in this one, but for the most part have had trouble generating a lot of pressure. Straight ahead, good running room once again for Thompson. Inside the 40, down to the 36. 7 yards for Kendrick Thompson. Do have an injury down on the field. We'll step aside for a brief injury timeout from Golden West College. The Rustlers on top by 7 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second and short coming up for the Rustlers. After the 7-yard Kendrick Thompson run, Mitchell on in the backfield. Will McKissick in the offset eye. He leads the way with 7 catches in the game. And now whistles before the snap. See if we can tell what happened. Well, not much there.
Please set the game clock to 9:58, and we'll start on my wind. Thank you.
All right, so working on the clock. Second down and 3. Banua has the snap, 3-man rush. Now the pressure comes. Banua able to slip out of the potential sack and get to the 35. That is very near the line of scrimmage. Let's watch here, as this was nearly a loss on the play, but Zion Magale can't completely wrap him up. Manages to fall forward. They'll spot it at the 36. It'll bring up third down, and they still need about 3. Wonder if this is possibly 4-down territory for the Rustlers, given this position on the field. They'll try Mitchell running left with a head of steam. He's got the first down. Aaron Mitchell, good hard running on the left side. Following Tyler Garcia, freshman left tackle Dylan Budbury on the left side. That is a big third down conversion. Rustlers can take a little more time off the clock, inching closer to field goal range. Mateo Zavia on the young season, just 1 field goal attempt, but it was good last week from 43 yards. So one would assume that they are pretty well at the edge, at the very least, of Zavia's range from here. Mitchell Straight ahead, gain of a couple. Zion Magalhae there quickly.
1 yard gain.
They'll give Mitchell just a yard to the 29. But that play will take it under 8 minutes to go. And of course, if you think about a field goal, obviously still a lot of time, but that does make it 2 scores. So in this context, the field goal greatly behooves the Rustlers. Blitz coming on 2nd and 9, looking deep, and the pass incomplete. Off the hands of Dom Thompson, who nearly brought it in. Working against Smith one-on-one. Let's watch here, and this is another pretty good throw from Banyua. Maybe just a little overthrows Dom Thompson. Brings up a 3rd and 9. Now from here it would be 46 yards would be the field goal attempt.
Let's go, offense!
At the 29.
And once again, have to consider the possibility that this is 4 downs. As this would be a lengthy field goal attempt from here. Banyua on a designed roll, looking on the near sideline for Schmidt. Did Schmidt get a foot down? No, they're going to say he was out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down. And a decision now for Nick Mitchell. Golden West 1 of 2 on 4th down here today.
12 yards on the play.
Hold
It was on the
everything.
play. It was a 1st down at the 16-yard line.
Okay.
After the play was over, dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct, Riverside City's bench. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal from the 8.
Okay, so there you hear the call. I thought the initial indication was that Schmidt didn't get a foot down, but it looks like that Schmidt did make the catch. But perhaps more importantly, the foul against the Riverside bench. The dead ball foul will tack on 15 yards, and now the situation becomes decidedly more precarious for the Tigers as the football is now inside the 10-yard line. Mitchell straight ahead, plunges forward for a gain of a couple. And again, they're going to get into it, and there comes another flag. So tempers flaring down on the field. It's been simmering for a
Personal
while.
foul. Here's the face, number 69. 15-yard penalty.
This
Still
one going to
first
go
down.
against Golden West, and that is potentially a big call. Well, we've talked about, despite the difficulty in maintaining one's temper, the importance of doing it because 15 yards can be so important. We saw the Tigers overcome that on the previous drive to come up with the touchdown, but now Golden West inside the 10. And they don't do themselves any favors. It was Inoki Samita getting into it after the end of the play. But this takes it all the way back out to the 26-yard line. So again, you're at the edge of field goal range in what is still a 1-score game. Inside handoff, running room on the left side. Good hard running for Morris. All the way down to the 14-yard line.
Picks up 8 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
Gain of 7. So Ardwan Morris
3rd and goal at the 13.
gets it actually down to the 13 with the spot. It's a 2nd and goal. This started inside the 10. The personal foul took it back out to the 21. So it's 2nd down from the Tiger 13. And again, the clock moves. Morris remains in the pistol formation. Dom Thompson solo to the left. Snap to Banyua, 3-man rush. Looking left, throws. Back shoulder throw. Momentarily it looked like Thompson had it, but he can't hold it. And Smith with the coverage, but this was nearly. Excuse me, I believe that was Walter Manning. Yeah, Manning over there with the coverage. But Banua nearly slipped that in a perfect spot. Thompson can't hold it. Leaves a 3rd and goal from the Riverside 13. Golden West now 9 of 15 on 3rd down, and they were pretty good a week ago at Mount San Jacinto as well. They dump it short. Morris looking for a block, hit and brought down after a gain of about 3. So they'll set Zavia up for about a 27-yard field goal that would make it a 2-score game. So here he comes. Mateo Zavia hit on his only field goal attempt last week. Freshman of Huntington Beach High School, staying close to home. Snap, placement down, the kick away. Up, no good. Wide right for Zavia. Rustlers come up empty, and it's still a 7-point game. Well, in a game of an awful lot of big plays, that is another one. How big is what we'll see over the next few minutes as the Tigers still have all kinds of life. Still down just 1 score, but they will have to work a really long field. They'll move it back to the 20. Doolittle on with the Tiger offense. Some trouble on the snap. Delayed handoff, slipping out of a tackle at the line and picking up about 8 yards. Kavion Sibley. Good hard running from Sibley. After Doolittle had trouble on the snap, they'll go right back to Sibley on the carry. Has the 1st down. Bounces off an Andrus tackle initially and then is dragged down. 7 yards. Golden West going to burn a timeout as the Tigers are trying to move quickly. 4:49, make it 4:52 remaining in the ball game. The Rustlers on top 35-28 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Golden West fans making some noise, getting behind their defense. Again, you go back to the fantastic matchup a season ago, and the pass incomplete, looking for Connor. Brings up a 2nd and 10, but after a back and forth affair, it was the Rustler defense that finally closed the door with a late interception. That came in the final seconds. We're not quite there yet at 4:48, but the Rustler defense again looking to come up with a stop to put this one away. What a big hit on the near side on Ferguson again, who's taken a couple of real shots today. Showing an awful lot of toughness. He pops up quickly. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. But I'll tell you, Jared Doolittle not doing him a whole lot of favors on that pass. As Ferguson stretches out for that one, but then pays the price as Nigel Mills delivers the hit. 3rd and 10 from the 35. 4:42 remaining on the clock. Blitz coming. Doolittle flushed from the pocket, in trouble now, just has to throw it away. This is where you could see intentional grounding. Don't see any flags yet, but Doolittle doing everything he can to avert the sack, and now I see the flag is down. You got to believe this is going to go down, and it will, as intentional grounding. Yeah, Doolittle, no chance.
That's a loss of down.
And clearly,
fourth down.
Just looking to avoid the sack. Doesn't get that pass to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be from the spot and a loss of down. Loss of down, taking it back to the 23-yard line. And we'll see Abram Rubio and the Tiger punting unit low snap, Rubio down to get it.
Player received the
Whistles
snap
come in.
on his knee, down at the 8-yard line, first down.
And they're going to say that Rubio was down on a knee. And this is going to give the football to the Rustlers. Well, he certainly wasn't touchdown. But that call came in quickly. All right, well, it's not anything particularly new, but that's a new one for me. As Rubio appeared to go down to one knee to get the ball. And on his way up, gets the kick away, but the call comes in that the ball will be spotted at the 8-yard line and go to the Rustlers. So what a break. Mitchell on the carry on the left side. Got back to the line. But the Rustlers content to run a little more time off the clock again. If we see Zavia, this will be a relatively short attempt. And the situation remains as it was a few minutes ago. A field goal for the Rustlers is enough to make this a 2-score game. So let's see if we see Mitchell 2 more times or if they put the ball in the hands of their freshman quarterback, Noah Banua, to see if perhaps he can get it into the end zone. We'll send a receiver in motion. The throw on the near side and in for a touchdown. A flag comes in after the play. J.D. Alisea with his first catch today, and it's a big one, as it is an 8-yard touchdown reception that pushes the lead back to 13.
Result of the play is touchdown. After the play is over,
well, Nick Mitchell was not content
to
simply run a little more time off and give his kicker, Theo Zavia, another chance, but instead puts the ball in the hands of Banua and J.D. Alisea. And Alisea, an interesting case, 3 receptions a week ago, touchdown here this week. And you have the sense that Alisea is the next in line for that slot receiver position that has been manned over the last couple of years by Robert Sarmiento and Nate Jimenez, who have had big seasons over the last 3 years in that spot. And that is a focal point of this Rustler offense. And is Alisea perhaps the next in line to fill that role? He had a touchdown last week. He now has one this week. And the lead is 42-28. Still 3:28 remaining. But the Tigers now have to make something happen very quickly. Looking ahead, next week the Rustlers are at home again. So we'll have that for you as they take on Allen Hancock in a rematch of their bowl game matchup from last season. Meanwhile, for Riverside, they're back on the road as well, as they will travel up north to take on College of the Canyons. So both teams with tough assignments next week. Doesn't get a whole lot easier. taken at the 35, a short kick. Connor forced out of bounds at the 45. But the Tigers do get a relatively short field. But they have got to get something going here in short order. Well, it's been a hotly contested battle. Down on the field, the two teams combining for an awful lot of big plays and more than a few penalties. 31 between the two teams. Out in the flat, completion into Golden West territory. Looking for Sibley out of the backfield. Gain of about 7 yards. Leaves a 2nd down and 3.
8-yard gain on the play.
Back to live action. The pass over the middle, incomplete, looking for Cox. Doolittle with that reception, I should say with that completion to Sibley, over 300 yards.
3rd down and 2.
With 3 touchdowns, but those 3 touchdowns coming in the relatively early going. Early into the 2nd quarter, but since then, as he finds Ferguson over the middle for a gain of perhaps a couple of yards to the 46. Is very near the 1st down marker. Wait to see. Yeah, he's about a yard shy, I believe. Yeah, Ferguson juggles that ball. Cruz Wheeler gets there quickly. And a 4th and 1. The Tigers first and foremost have to pick it up here, and they do, finding Cox over the middle. Still on his feet, now wrapped up. Down at the 28-yard line. Andrus able to bring him down, but the 4th down completion to Dominic Cox. The Tigers need to move quickly. You see the clock, 2:26 and counting remaining in the game. Play action. Doolittle sets, fires over the middle, completes it inside the 5, down near the goal line, looking for Nixon, who didn't get in. Got down to the 1. So the Tigers on the doorstep of getting one of the 2 scores back that they need. So watch the tail end, and we'll try to bring you back live. Keeping it in the air. It's a 2nd and goal just outside the 1. Quick snap to Doolittle, quick throw off the hands of his intended target. And now back live. And the push on the handoff, and they do punch it in. Still a lot of time. 2nd rushing touchdown for Sibley, who's in from a yard out. Well, hold everything. Still an awful lot of time. But if the Rustlers can come up with a 1st down, that should pretty well wrap it up. That's what it'll come down to. Extra point, up and good. There is a flag down in the Golden West end zone. 42-35, but the Rustlers at this point just looking
defense, that penalty is
for
declined.
one more
The point
1st
is
down.
good.
If they can do it, that'll make it 2 consecutive wins over the Riverside City College Tigers. No easy feat. Go back to last year where Riverside fell in the SCFA championship to finish their season with a record 9-2. But those 2 losses were by a combined 3 points. That's how close they were to once again representing the South in the 3C2A championship. The 1-point loss here at Golden West and the 2-point loss at Mount San Antonio College. So this would be some kind of an achievement for the Rustlers as they continue to show that nobody's playing football at any higher level. Right up there with the likes of Riverside and Mount San Antonio College, who so often represent the SCFA in the 3C2A championship. But still some work to do. Orozco. End over end kick. They'll make the fair catch inside the 15, back at the 13-yard line. So Kendrick Thompson taking no chances. With the fair catch, they will move it out. Now, one result is that there's still 2:06 on the clock. So a 2-minute timeout is another stoppage of the clock for the Tigers. Tanner Schmidt with a big second half, now up to 5 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown.
Who's on the play was a fair catch at the 25-yard line. That 5 yards added to the end of the fair catch. It'll be 1st and 10, Golden West at the 30-yard line.
So another penalty against Riverside. We'll take it from the 25 to the 30. So after Will McKissick had the big first half with 7 catches, including 1 for a touchdown, it's Tanner Schmidt who has become the primary target in the second half for Noah Banua, who himself is up to 229 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the game. But right now, Noah Banua and this Rustler offense will take 10 yards however they can get it. Tigers pressing at the line. First down handoff, Kendrick Thompson. And a gain of perhaps 3 for Thompson.
2-minute timeout.
And the 2-minute timeout will step aside from Huntington Beach. Rustlers trying to close it out, leading at 42-35. Second down and 7 from the Golden West 33. Thompson remains in the backfield. Play action, Banua on the roll, away from pressure. Looking for the edge, he will slide down. He's short of the first down. Valenzuela will get credit for the tackle, but he does get to the 38.
That is their first timeout.
Riverside going to take a timeout. And a massive 3rd and 2 coming up for the Rustlers when we come back on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third and 2 for the Rustlers. Thompson solo in the backfield. Bunch formation for the Rustlers, who go to a jumbo package. needing 2 yards to close it out. Thompson, left side, slips out of a tackle. He's got the first down. Thompson into the Tigers secondary, forced out of bounds inside the 40. Kendrick Thompson slams the door.
Result of the play is first down. Number 9, defense helmet off during play. Has to come off. Play ended up out of bounds. The clock will start at the snap.
26-yard gain.
So 1:39 remaining, but the Rustlers needing 2 yards. The great execution on that front 5. The offensive line finds a little bit of running room for Thompson. Should say now this is Morris on in the backfield. They'll try to rip it out. You see Valenzuela trying to get that ball out. Good job by Morris to hold on to it.
That was their second timeout.
Riverside going to take a timeout. That's their second, so they've got one more. So it's not over just yet. Can force a 4th down again, still have a little bit of time on the clock. But the Rustlers closing in, 1:31 remaining, leading at 42-35. Perhaps fitting that it was the blocking up front that sprung Thompson for 26 yards. Golden West with 240 yards rushing as a team in this game have not allowed a sack on Noah Banua. Argument could be made that it is that offensive line that has really secured the player of the game for the Rustlers. Big hit in the backfield. Coming off the edge, Lene on Morris, who does a good job to hold the football. Final timeout charge to Riverside. So after one more play, presumably, still talking about 30 or 40 seconds here. So still some football to be played when we come back to Huntington Beach. Third and 12 from the 38, but gotta believe here we're gonna see Nick Mitchell keep the ball on the ground. Take as much time off as possible. Tigers out of timeouts. Banua on the roll. He'll keep it now. That ball poked free. It's loose at the 38. Looks like the Rustlers got back to it and did.
All right, we good. No timeouts.
That was nearly a huge play. Watch here, and it is Valenzuela. The heady play. The sophomore linebacker missed the entire year a season ago. Returns to the fold. Manning the middle. That linebacking core for Riverside knocked that ball free, but the Rustlers do get to it and keep it as Lihanu Atuatasi quickly to the ball.
Timeout, Golden West.
And now
That is their second
38
timeout.
seconds remaining. Golden West will take their first charge timeout. 4th down for the Rustlers when we come back. Rustlers leading at 42-35. Punting unit on, Aaron Stock out for the Rustlers. 37 seconds remaining. The Tigers out of timeouts. Do gain some time as they will stop the clock on first downs. Coming after the kick, but Stock gets it away. Takes another Tiger bounce back out near the 20, but still as 9 or 10 seconds come off the clock. A trade that the Rustlers will take every time. They get the kick away. Tigers need to find a way to go 80 yards in 28 seconds with no timeouts. Well, we saw them go 82 yards on one play back in the first half. A completion to Logan Quates. Rustlers dropping back into coverage. They'll rush just 3. Doolittle steps up on the far side, completes the pass over the middle, finds Nixon. Nixon trying to stay up. Now stood up at the 38, but this is costing the Tigers some time. In fact, the clock moves all the way to 16 seconds. They'll quickly spike the ball. So let's see about the official time on the clock. They reset, but 18 yards certainly to Nixon, but about half the time the Tigers had off the clock. So they pay a price in terms of time for those 18 yards. Looking to perhaps get themselves into position where they can take one shot at the end zone. Doolittle over the middle, but slipping down. This is going to keep the clock moving. Completion to Sibley. Clock moving down to 3 seconds, down to 2 seconds as you watch the replay. Sibley gets tied up with his own feet.
There we go.
False start on the center. By rule, that's a 10-second runoff. Game is over.
And there you see the call. So as the Tigers were getting up to try and spike the ball and preserve at least a second to get one more play, the false start comes in by rule. That's a 10-second runoff. And the Rustlers get the win 42-35 in another instant classic between these two programs that seem to be able to deliver nothing but drama in their matchups year after year. Another great one goes to Golden West. 42-35 here today. The Rustlers move to 2-0 on the season. The Tigers drop to 1-1. Rustlers back at home next week, so we will see you then for Rustler football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com when the Rustlers host Allen Hancock. Until then, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. So long. We'll see you next week.